Hey guys, welcome to the 28th part in this Python tutorial series for beginners, and in this one we're going to be talking about regular expressions. So regular expressions are just a really quick and concise way to be able to extract a particular part of data from a string, and that's really all they do. They're not particularly complicated, but they're very different from what anyone has probably learned before. So I'm going to show you how you can use the regular expressions module in Python. Let's go ahead and create a new file. And I'm going to save that file, just call it RE for regular expressions, and I'm going to import regular expressions, or RE. So that's the name of the module, and I'm going to define a string so that I can have something to search through with a regular expression. So I've just defined one string that I'm going to use to be able to extract data from using regular expressions. So I'm going to use a regular expression by doing RE, which is referring to the module that I'm importing, .findAll, which is a method within that module that you can use in conjunction with regular expressions. And in this set of quotation marks, that's where the regular expression is going to go, and then the second one is just going to be my string, just to make it aware that it's this particular string that we want to search rather than another string that could be declared somewhere, or even a file that you want to search through. So in here we can basically put anything that we want to be able to extract the data that we want from this string. So this is where the regular expressions and these funny symbols can come in. So what we can do, for example, is we're going to start with send. And I'm just going to assign this to a variable, say result equals that, and then I'm going to say print result, just so that I can see the output. So if I go ahead and run it, that was the wrong button, you get the list of all the elements that satisfied this regular expression. So in this case it started with send, and then that was the part of the string that satisfied the regular expression, or it was a match in other words. Therefore, that was the result that it gave me. So let's say we wanted just the numbers. So in this case we've got a 34 here. What we can do is we can use a set. So the square brackets means I want to find one particular character that is one of the characters within the square brackets. So I could do ABC, and then it would find one character that matched either A or B or C. So it would find, well, we can see. So I can run that, and it just finds all the A's, the B's and the C's. So in this case, in this string, I've not actually typed a single B, but I've got 3 A's and 2 C's. So that was a really quick way of finding that, and that was just using a relatively simple regular expression. So another example is if we wanted to find this number, so we could do any number from 0 to 9 plus, and then what the plus means is, I said here, it matches a character one or more times. So it's going to look through and it's going to see, well, it needs a number from 0 to 9, so it doesn't see that until it gets to the 3 here. And then what it thinks is, well, this is one particular character that it matches, so 3 would match to this first part of the regular expression. But the plus means it's going to keep matching any number of times as long as the next few characters satisfy this set as well. So in this case the 4 does satisfy it, but then anything after that wouldn't. So what that gives us is 34, which is what we wanted. So that would just get all the numbers in the string. Say we had lots of different numbers here, we could do that, and then it would really quickly extract every single number within the string, which is really useful. So that's one quick example of how you can use a regular expression to extract numbers, and this range is quite useful because you could do something like A to Z as well, or you could say anything that's not including A to Z. So if you put the little caret inside the square brackets, that means anything not including what's inside the square brackets, as opposed to this being anything including anything inside the square brackets. So it's the opposite in a sense. So we can do that and we get anything else. So these are all the characters that are not lowercase a to z. So that was a few of the characters on this little regular expression sheet, and I think that's probably enough examples just to get started with. But I'm going to show you one more, and that's how you extract these email addresses. So to conclude, the final regular expression that I'm going to show you is a slightly more complicated one. So you're going to begin to see the power of these regular expressions, because they're still going to be quite short, but they're becoming a lot more powerful very quickly, where, you know, if you didn't use regular expressions you'd have to write a lot more lines of code. So I'm going to do \S, and what that is it identifies any non-white space character. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then I'm going to do a plus, which is saying more than one non-white space character. So I made a little note saying the plus symbol is going to match one character one or more times. So in this case it matches \S, which is a non-white space character, more than once. So what that's going to do is find characters, really. And then what I want to do is extract this email. So it's going to be this, so the non-white space and followed by the plus. That's going to find the first part of this email, and then it's going to have an @ symbol, which is how I'm going to know that it's an email address, because nothing else here has an @ symbol in it. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, because we want the non-white space characters again. So what this should do is it's going to identify non-white space characters, and then an @ and then non-white space characters, and then as soon as it finds a white space character it's going to stop. So if we run that, we get all the emails in the string, which is really powerful, and you would have had to write more lines of code if you didn't use regular expression to do that. So that's a basic introduction to regular expressions. Now they can get a lot more complicated than that, and you can do some really powerful stuff with it, you know, with reading files and things like that, with, you know, if you have just more than one string, because we only read from one string in this example, but you could read very large files and pass through all the data very fast and efficiently with regular expressions. So that's it for this video, but in the next one we're going to be talking a little bit more about some of the more complex things you can do with regular expressions.